Come check us out at Grand Rapids Comic Con November 14th through the 16th. Hope to see you there. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it? So you don't have to. What are you doing here, Leo?
I came to get some advice.
I thought you were handed over to people who were going to make you a nostalgia kit.
I was.
And who are they?
Hello.
Ah! What are you doing down there?
Exactly what you think. We understand you're doing a review of the Lilo and Stitch remake.
So?
So they need your help making me more profitable in the future.
And how am I supposed to help with that?
With our new invention!
The Bad Machine!
Is that a new production company from J.J. Abrams?
No, it takes literally anything that's good and makes it bad.
But you're modern Disney, you're experts at that.
Or so they thought!
Yeah, the Snow White remake was a huge bomb, but the Lilo and Stitch remake was a huge hit.
So we're trying to figure out the formula.
Is everything a formula with you guys?
Formulas are the seeds for charts.
You see, the original Lilo and Stitch and Elio have a lot of parallels.
Yeah, they both have dead parents, aliens, a weird little kid, a single caretaker.
And they both didn't make much money when they came out.
So if we start working on a live-action remake of Elio now, then we speed up the profits.
Oh, and you want to see my thoughts on this Lilo and Stitch so you don't make the same mistakes.
No, we want to make the exact same mistakes.
Precisely. The good movie bombs but gains a following, while the bad remake thrives but no one remembers it.
Change one. The moral.
Well, in both movies, it's about connecting with loved ones you're often at odds with.
Sounds too good. Make it bad!
Now it's about disconnecting with your loved ones to a point where you practically abandon them.
Next!
Change two. The pacing.
Well, again, in both movies, they take their time and show the connections with all the characters, even the side ones.
Sounds too good.
Make it bad!
Now it's edited like a TikTok video with half the scenes cut down.
Next!
Change three. The characters.
You know what? I'm not helping you with this.
Oh, who needs you? We've got this.
Now Elio lives with his aunt instead of his single mother. Oh wait, we already made that change.
Yeah, and it was kind of lame.
Maybe we do need him.
You know what? I'm just gonna do the normal review. If you want to see what's wrong with it, just listen in.
I suppose we can live with that.
Ooh, maybe we can find a way to finally make the Tron movies profitable.
You're fired.
Yeah.
You know, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and those who exploit it will always exploit it. Most of us thought we were out of the trenches with the Disney Live Action Remakes, with several of them not pulling in the numbers they desired. But then along came Lilo and Stitch, which was supposed to be a Disney Plus movie, but at the last minute, was given a big screen release. And boy, was that the right call, because between that and Moana 2, my guess is they're gonna do this more because these were gigantic hits. My guess is people were sick of Disney not understanding what made their fairy tale so special, but with a story that takes place in modern day, that's a little harder to goof up. I mean, the film's just a little over 20 years old versus Snow White, which is nearing 100 years old, so in more ways than one, people have a more modern connection with this movie. And I really enjoyed the original because even though it did have a lot of heart, it came from a believable place where just about every character could be wrong or mean or even violent. We like these characters because there is surprisingly an edge to them that you can relate to. So it's more emotional when they want to get better. Like many of these remakes though, the edge is sucked out and they change things that didn't need to be changed. Okay, I can't say this is anywhere near the worst I've seen from this lame genre, but absolutely nothing improves on the original. So in what way does the company representing master storytellers misunderstand their own story again? Well, let's take a closer look. Because Lord knows if they're ever gonna learn their lesson.
How's this for a profitable bad idea? Avatar with beavers.
We're already making that.
Oh, I guess I forgot.
Everyone on the internet did. You're still fired.
Oh.
Let's take a look at the remake of Lilo and Stitch. The film opens beat for beat like the first one with the alien scientist Jumba, played now by Zach Galifianakis, being charged with having a dick nose worse than Alf. I mean creating a super weapon named 626. Yeah, phallic imagery is another weird thing this and Elio have in common. Chris Sanders again voices Stitch, who escapes from his prison heading to Earth.
He took the red one.
We project he will collide with a planet called Earth.
So you might be shrugging, alright, seems like the first one, no more no less, but here's the thing. The intro in the original before the title is 10 minutes long. The intro here is 6 minutes long. Now you might be wondering how a movie missing several minutes from the original is actually 20 minutes longer, yet somehow feels 40 minutes longer. It's because the editing is dog shit. Yeah, if you take that table scene from Bohemian Rhapsody that became a meme a long time ago, that's basically the entire movie. It takes place in Hawaii, but the shots aren't long enough to take in its beauty. Heavy moments that should be given time to breathe are trimmed down and replaced with bad ADR.
You're gonna love it. Stop pretending to my mom!
At least I don't tell the social worker I like jumping out a window!
Why do I have to be at your work? I'm sick.
Because someone got kicked out of hula.
And they can get away with it because they're planning on you having seen the original. You'll confuse a rushed botch joke for being funny because you remember liking it when they actually put care into it the first time. Case in point, when Stitch says an alien swear word, you don't know what it means, but holding on one shot to show everybody's appalled reactions makes the bit work.
Naughty!
Now in the remake, see if this is nearly as funny.
So naughty!
Did it even sound like the councilwoman cared?
So naughty!
It sounds like she literally phoned in that line while getting her nails done. The mic wasn't recording when I did that line? Okay, I'll do it again. So naughty. Good, bye. Now you can make the argument because this is a Disney live action remake and there's so much repeating, it's nice they just want to rush past the stuff we already know. But is that such a great bar to have? Isn't that like saying, well, I don't like hitting my balls with a hammer, but if I do it quickly, I can get through it all right. Or, you could just not hit your balls with a hammer! Stop seeing these shitty remakes!
Sorry.
Cut to Earth where we see Lilo, played by Maia Kealoha, showing up late to her hula recital.
I got friendship bracelet too. Garbage girl puts garbage on her arm.
They make the bullies much more antagonistic, so when she gets revenge on them, it's not that out of place.
She's not cunning.
She's always causing trouble.
She's just not a good fit.
It's time to put her down. Yeah, you'll find Lilo's not really that weird in this. She'll certainly say that she's weird and an outcast and everything, but on top of pushing the bully not being nearly as funny as straight up assaulting her, the bully doesn't sabotage Lilo, she just calls her crazy, causing Lilo to go from 1 to 100.
You're crazy.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Lilo even tries to be friends with her immediately after, which is also cut from this version. Yeah, that scene of her hugging the doll. Time-wasting crap, not needed. But you see, part of the charm of Lilo is that she did feel like a real kid, but she was also still odd and troubled and grieving. This made her more complex and interesting. We sympathize with her and recognize these cries for help, even if she didn't.
My friends need to be punished. No!
Again, compare these two scenes.
I had to get a sandwich for Pudge. He's a fish.
So you're late because you fed a sandwich to a fish?
Yeah, Pudge controls the weather.
That kind of sounds like a normal thing a kid would say. But in the original,
I'm late because I had to go to the store and get peanut butter because all we have is stinking tuna! Pudge controls the weather.
that kid is going through something. Her older sister Nani, played by Sydney Elizebeth Agudong, finds herself missing Lilo's recital. Don't worry, Peter Panning's assistant recorded the whole thing.
The social worker is here. You can pout later, Lilo.
That's not how pouting works.
Like the original, Lilo locks Nani out of the house just as the social worker arrives. Only this time in the clever cameo, she's played by the original voice of Nani, Tia Carrere.
Aloha, Lilo. How are you? Is that blood?
I've been practicing jumping out of my window.
Ha, she's kidding.
Carrere is fine in the role, offering a lot more warmth and support, but Cobra Bubbles is clearly more entertaining and makes the humor much better, as he clearly has no sense of humor, making the moments where things go wrong much more stressful.
Nani, we both know this didn't go well today.
In case you're wondering, this did not go well.
The scenes are so rushed, they don't even mention how the parents die. In fact, when I first saw it, I didn't even hear them mention that they died. The action that sets everything in motion is practically glossed over.
I know it hasn't been that long since your parents passed away.
Just assume Lilo's fish sent a hurricane after them.
You're gonna need that health insurance for when I kill you!
Quick, hide in a pizza box!
What's better than listening to you?
Do your room!
I don't eat my room!
So the good news is, the acting is pretty great. I do believe these two are sisters, and they bring a lot of charm. If they didn't get good actors for these roles, I'm convinced everything about this would fall apart. But again, the rushed pacing ruins so many important moments. Remember when Nani talks about them being separated and Lilo starts to tear up but pretends not to? That's gone. replaced with their neighbor, played by Amy Hill, giving some bad exposition dumps.
What? Your acceptance letter to your dream school magically taken out of your trash and appearing in your bag at your place of work?
Christ, I've seen instruction manuals explain less. Yeah, they set up this subplot about her wanting to be a marine biologist, even though she never talks about or ever shows any interest. But thankfully, that gets in the way of major emotional scenes from the original, like when Nani said she'd rather have a rabbit than a sister, leading to this moment.
I like you better as a sister than a mom. And you like me better as a sister than a rabbit, right?
Oh.
That's a real emotional moment, and there's a lot more like it in that scene. In the remake, it's literally delivered as a punchline.
I like you better as a sister than a mom.
Ouch.
Did they run this through the MASH filter from Futurama?
This isn't a war. It's a murder. This isn't a war. It's a murder.
Stitch crashes on planet Earth.
Will you relax? I know his every move.
Were they so desperate to have an edit every 2 seconds, he couldn't even finish that line on camera? And Stitch interrupts a wedding. It's not funny or needed, but it has a fart joke. That's good $1 billion writing. Hey look, the editing finally slowed down, and ironically it made the joke worse. Again, the original... still gets a laugh out of me. The remake. When did Uptown Funk become the kiss of death for children's films? Jumba is forced to retrieve his creation and team up with Pleakley, played by Billy Magnussen, who give themselves human disguises. Not only a cost-effective way to save an effects budget, but it does make more sense in a live-action film and allows the actors to give an on-screen performance as opposed to just a vocal performance. Magnussen especially, I swear, watched every episode of the cartoon show to get down this character's mannerisms.
How many nights will you be staying with us?
I don't want to stay with you. I would like my own room with a door.
Where are you visiting us from?
Earth.
/ parallel Disney crappy remake universe. Because Nani has no one to help her with Lilo, she takes her to get a pet so she's not so alone. Oh, she does have help! The neighbor helps a lot.
Can I go into the animal shelter? Please, please, please!
Okay, but no wonder.
Yeah, that's another issue. Because the neighbor is around so much, it does make Nani look more incompetent. But even worse, scenes with Lilo and Nani bonding, you know, the whole reason we care and have urgency for them, are cut out even more with this change. For all the problems they have in the original, you do see how they connect. You see why they're good for each other. In this one, because Nani is kept out of it so much, and when you do see her, she's mainly complaining, it does kind of feel like sometimes they shouldn't be together.
But you know you can't feed the dogs candy again, right?
But it makes them happy.
It makes them have diarrhea.
But they sleep so deep when I give them my Hershey bars. Stitch is put in an animal shelter and can thankfully read English. Hey, this phrase seems to know what Slim Jims is.
They look like a bunch of Slim Jims with googly eyes.
Yep, they don't know how to pronounce Earth.
Yarth.
And the neighbor decides she's adopting him, or Lilo's adopting him, or she's forging Nani's signature. This was weirdly more straightforward with the original complicated explanation.
You sure you like this one?
Perfect.
He literally made the news as a dangerous unidentified animal.
An unidentified wild animal. The creature is recovering at the Na Mea Ola Animal Rescue.
So of course he can go home with you. This place is getting sued.
Wait, you can't shoot. Ow!
That's your fault.
Meanwhile, the FBI are investigating the crashed spaceship.
Special Agent Cobra Bubbles, there's no sign of a pilot.
Well, you butchered that name reveal. I don't even know why that's supposed to be funny in this version. Honestly, I don't even know why he's in this if he's not introduced as the social worker first. Finding out he was in the FBI later was such a funny reveal and tied up so many plot threads. A lot of people had issue with Gantu not being in the film, but in the grand scheme of things, he's not that needed. In the show, he's definitely needed, but in the movie, not as much. But this character is actively taking time away that could be spent focused more on Lilo and Nani, which is already being taken away by focusing on Lilo and the neighbor.
Just stay put. I'll be back in a second.
And the neighbor's not even that good at looking out for her. They hotwire up Power Wheels while she's just somewhere else.
He'll stop at nothing to get away from us. But he's gonna find out real soon he's stuck here.
The reason this is being cut like it's the end of episode 1? Seriously, what is up with this editing? Nani takes Lilo to work where we get another cute cameo. The original David, Jason Scott Lee as her boss. And speaking of which, David is in this movie as the son of the neighbor.
She said that she likes her butt and fancy hair.
She told you that?
Nope, but I read her text messages.
Text messages to who? I kind of assumed Nani didn't have many people in her life, hence why she had such a hard time finding people to look after Lilo. But the more they explain, it looks like she knows quite a few people, so why can't they help out? On top of the person that's already helping out. Like before they cause trouble, resulting in Nani getting fired.
You know, he didn't even like that job.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh, guess they got rid of the vampire line too. Is this film's whole purpose to be devoid of personality? We're gonna get to a point where the next Disney live action remake is just called The. Now I'm happy to report that the I like you better as a sister than a mother line is not the only heavy moment replaced with a dumbbell joke.
Dad said Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
That line would be just as iconic if that's how they originally did it. Maybe it's to tie in how half-assed they actually convey the message, but we'll get to that in a bit.
That's the board. Oh, this is how she trained. She was great at it.
Lilo shows Nani used to be a surfer, and even though that and this hula scene are clearly done to be a plot point later, I know because this is the only moment the movie can sit still, and even then there's an edit every few seconds. There's still sweet moments.
What's this? Did you even see?
They recreate the speaker scene, but Nani doesn't see it to give a reaction, so what's the point of doing it if it's not going to be as funny? And speaking of which, Cobra goes undercover as a social worker as he suspects Stitch is an alien. Because screw clever comedic twist, this is clearly the better way to make him a social worker and an agent. He gets a hair from Stitch just before we get this knee slapper.
Where'd you get the name Jumper? It's a family name.
Do I honestly have to go to G-Force to see funnier jokes from him? As Nani seems to strike out looking for a new job.
Maybe you can do something you love.
Marine biology. Oh, I mean surfing! Yeah, I don't talk about either of them, but the movie says I love them, so this is my passion!
Oh, I didn't know they got bitches.
Like in the first one, Jumba and Pleakley attack, causing Lilo to almost drown.
Call an ambulance!
Someone's after it too. The next chance I get, I'm catching him.
I bet every movie made by committee wishes all characters have phones in front of them so they could ADR whatever they want. They take her to the hospital where the social worker says, hey, a Lilo-less life is looking pretty good for you.
There's a way that the state will pay for all of this. You have to relinquish guardianship of Lilo.
What would that look like?
It looks like you relinquishing guardianship of Lilo. Did AI write this? Nani seriously considers this. The councilwoman says Jumba and Pleakley have done enough damage and they're being taken off the mission. Jumba decides he's going rogue as Nani gets used to the idea of being without Lilo.
You would tell me about all of your fun little adventures with Alvin and Tutu and stuff like that.
And you know, I'll give credit. I like that they focus on Lilo just looking down at Nani not eating her pizza. Like, she knows something's up. That's actually so subtle I missed it the first time. It's actually one of the few moments the editing is pretty smart. There's so few of those moments, so when they happen, I figure draw attention to it. The next day, the social workers come to pick Lilo up. Oh no, they're hardly ever gonna see each other, so basically the same relationship they have now.
She's not here.
What do you mean she's not here?
I mean, you're right, I am awful at this. You probably should have taken her away earlier. Lilo goes looking for Stitch and went back to the shelter thinking that's where he belongs. But Jumba shows up as well to get him. Good thing I showed you how to play Portal. He changes back to his normal form to stop falling and he chases him back to their home.
Go away, hairy potato!
Did you just call me a hairy potato? That's not nice.
You know, it's not like that's the worst line, but when you see what humanity gave this film, it kind of feels like it is.
The only reason you picked her at that animal shelter was for your own protection.
Is that true, Stitch?
It's still true. Human shield!
Lilo, run!
So Jumba ends up being the main threat, and while some people had a problem with this, I could take it or leave it. He already started off evil, it does make the story tighter, and it subtracts one extra character. But I also get the idea that the original complements the idea that people seen as outcasts should be given second chances. I don't know, I'm surprisingly indifferent to it.
It's the ability to see what others can't.
He takes Lilo and Stitch aboard his ship as Cobra captures Pleakley and says he needs to take him into custody.
Where is my sister?
Priority is getting this thing into custody. I took an oath to protect the American people.
What do you think we are?
A Commonwealth. Wait, have I thought I was in Puerto Rico this whole time? He agrees to help as Lilo breaks Stitch out and they eject Jumba from the ship, causing it to crash. Stitch goes back for Lilo's picture of her folks, but the water causes him to get heavier, making it impossible to bring him to the surface. Ah, yes, Ohana means call back.
Nobody gets left behind!
Take me, Jesus. Deliver me from these remakes.
No! I already know how many sequels I have planned for me! They already greenlit Lin-Manuel's table scraps!
Nani, I guess, can hold her breath for a really long time. Guybrush Threepwood lungs here. And she uses her marine biology knowledge to revive, or they Frankenweenie him back to life. Again, anything to show as little interest in her ultimate passion as possible. Hawaii somehow doesn't see that, and the aliens come to imprison Stitch.
As for experiment 6-2...
Stitch. What?
They call me Mr. Stitch. He says he's formed a family on Earth and that he's changed, so it's suggested that Pleakley stay behind to keep an eye on him. Pun intended.
I cannot risk the global panic that would ensue if this were to become public. How could I ever trust you to keep it a secret?
People think this is the biggest inauguration period. It's honestly not that hard anymore.
626 has been sentenced to life in exile here on Earth.
Yeah, the adoption papers and the mosquito backstory were far more clever. Again, Cobra seems really pointless in all this. But don't worry, there's even more pointless changes. You see, Lilo is still gonna be taken away, but the neighbor says she'll adopt her. Okay, a little overly complicated, but whatever, at least they'll still be together. Oh wait, they won't, because Nani's gonna leave the state to go to that marine biology school.
It's a lot more complicated than that.
But I wanted to go.
I want you to go after this whole movie literally built up how bad it would be if we were separated.
That's what Mama and Papa would like too. They told me so.
Guess that was cut out too! But what about the blooming romance with David? What about it? Ohana means bye. Now granted, the end credit sequence does show she uses the portal gun to visit her.
Doesn't sound like sleeping in there, Lilo.
Get the gun.
Was she under a restraining order? Why does she have to hide? So it does help out a little bit, but talk about confusing the message. The other was so straightforward and direct, but keeping in line, modern Disney has to overcomplicate things for no reason. I guess the director said he didn't want to restage the same beats of the original film. Just 90% of it! And both him and Sanders said they wanted to give the idea that the Hawaiian community would help out, as that's a big part of their culture. Totally fair, but there's more sensible ways to get that across. How about the people offer help, but Nani rejects it, thinking it's her problem and doesn't want to bother anybody and tries to take on too much responsibility, a common trait of that age. The community could insist and eventually help anyway and come together to both save Lilo and help take care of her afterwards. Nani would see how important community is and you wouldn't have to change that much. It'd be quick, simple, and effective. This seems so ass-backwards and overly complex to a point where people aren't even getting the idea of the message. But hey, it wouldn't be a Disney Live Action remake without that, would it?
Does this mean I can,
No, this one's bad on its own.
Oh.
Like I said before, this isn't one of the worst. It does have good performances. Occasionally there's a chuckle, and because it's a more modern story, there's a touch less for them to misunderstand. But they do still misunderstand a lot about it. It feels condensed and rushed to a point where it feels like one of those Golden Book adaptations as opposed to a cinematic remake that's somehow longer. The director has made a pretty good film with Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and I have no doubt that if he had complete control, it would turn out better because this definitely has a feel of another movie made by a committee. I think folks liked it because Stitch is very cute and well animated, the good memories to the original carry over enough to forgive its shortcomings. And honestly, maybe people just needed something light. In my opinion, Lilo and Stitch is supposed to have a lot of things that are light about it, but also have a lot of depth and emotion too. And that's what makes us enjoy the happier moments. In fact, it transforms them from being something light into something important. Little things like dancing, feeding fish, making weird dolls sticks with us because the heavy moments are there and are presented to us in a way that doesn't talk down to us. The remake doesn't even attempt to talk down to us, it just gives us the frosting and none of the cake. And if you want to say, oh, lay off, I just want to have a good time with something forgettable, fair enough, but just remember you won't have nearly as good a time with this film phoning it in, unless this film worked hard to give you something that'll truly last.
Wow. Maybe we should change the way we...
Oh, knock it off, you didn't learn a thing!
You're right!
Do I get a last line?
What? Your acceptance letter to your dream school magically taken out of your trash and appearing in your bag at your...
We're still doing cameos for charity, but I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. As many of you are probably aware, I got chronic fatigue syndrome about 1.5 years ago. It's still with me, and while it's not nearly as bad as what other people have, there's still very little known about it, not much research or anything, and it probably goes without saying it's really spiked after COVID. So rather than change up the charities every month, I think I'm just gonna give the money to one charity, Solve MECFS. There are so many people suffering greatly from this, and like I've said in the past, I'm not suffering nearly as bad as so many people out there, yet it's still getting in the way of how I live my usual life. So I can't even imagine what so many other people must be going through and the toll it must be taking on them. So if you want a video of me saying happy birthday or congrats, good luck or whatever, click on the link below and be giving to a good cause. If you're like, no, your face is a butt and I don't like you, well, consider giving to this wonderful organization anyway. Like I said, there's a lot of people suffering from this and we don't really know the reason why, so maybe we can all come together and help them help many more.